Good morning and welcome. My name is Gary Blakely and I'll be your MC for today. A quick note, there is a film crew present today. They're getting footage of the speakers for Lindsay Doodle's upcoming Recovering from Religion documentary. Please be sure to wear a red name tag if you do not wish to be filmed. I am pleased to welcome those here in our community center and those joining us on Facebook Live and YouTube to Kansas City Oasis. Since 2014, Oasis has been the premier secular alternative to faith-based communities. We welcome all, regardless of belief or non-belief, race, gender, sexual orientation, identity, or any other trait. We feel the human experience is better when it is shared, and we are pleased that you have chosen to share it with us this morning. All right. Our mission statement is educate members in the values of humanism, provide social support to the community, produce educational programs for the general public, and to engage in acts of charitable service. Today's program, our featured speaker, I want to make sure I get your name pronounced here. That's Johnny Rizvi on Leaving Islam. Our musical guest is Kadesh Flow, and our community moment will be Ethan Powell and David Krampus. Kadesh Flow, if you want to join us up here, and we can start the musical program. He's got a very nice trombone here. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah. Kadesh is a rapper with an MBA who plays trombone masterfully. I would agree with that. I listened to the rehearsal. And is a Billboard charting recording artist. He brings all of the above together, both on tracks and on stage. He blends his jazz and hip-hop backgrounds as a solo performer and with multiple other groups. Please give a warm Oasis welcome back to Kadesh Flow.
Thanks, Gary. Hi, it's really cool to be back here. How's everybody doing? It's great to see all of your beautiful faces here. I made the mistake of grabbing a donut and then realizing it was 10:58. And when I'm supposed to be using my voice and my lips. So it's sitting right here, right now. We're going to do this anyway. Think I'm strong now, but look way back. Try to move you, people didn't play that. I show love anytime you need support, but you give me props to my face, laugh at me for sport. I don't know what to say when they're around me. Try to be brave, but that confounds me. I just feel afraid and I'm down. See, you all got that praise early. I receive that doubt. These people act so fake to my face. They be smiling. At least I got the shadows who don't play. They about these wins and no way. Accolades never found me to that one day that I saved everybody. Everybody wasn't there to witness what I had to do to rescue victims. You too busy focusing on how busy my limbs get. I don't need my name inside your main chairs. I can think it's funny how I get your recognition now. You too busy trying to be traditional, acting like if I was not with this. All of my chances to be great have no existence. I guess I gotta go and hurt for it. Since you got it easy, you just consider the work. Where I understand that this is mine, I was destined for birth. Where I just had to sweat to get my hands up in the dirt. Where you too busy focused on what you think you deserve. You are no way of the destined. That doesn't mean that I just expect it. I just wait until I have it, there is no resting. I am so invested, I will never stop even once I become the best. This is my time. This is what I eat, sleep, and breathe, eh? I'ma do it, doesn't matter what you think, eh? Anything is possible if you believe, eh? Yeah, this ain't just a dream, eh? and breathe, ayy. I'ma do it, doesn't matter what you think, ayy. Anything is possible if you believe, ayy. I said, this ain't just a dream, ayy. This is what I eat, sleep, and breathe, ayy. I'ma do it, doesn't matter what you think, ayy. Anything is possible if you believe, ayy. Yeah, this ain't just a dream. Think I'm strong now, but look way back. Tried to move you, people didn't play that. I show love anytime you need support, but you give me props to my face, laugh at me for sport. I don't know what to say when they're around me. Try to be brave, but that confounds me. I just feel afraid and I'm down. See, y'all got that praise early. I receive that doubt. These people act so bad to my face. They be smiling. At least I got my shoulders who don't play there about these wins and no way accolades never found me. To that one day that I saved everybody. Yeah. Thank you. That song's called Accolades. It's inspired by a character named Midoriya, aka Deku, from an anime called My Hero Academia. And I released that with an EP I put out in 2020, which was a lifetime ago. I have a lot of new stuff, but I haven't made performance tracks for them yet, so we'll get to that at some point in time. Thanks for bearing with me. The pollen is doing a number on me. I'm trying to get past, along with the donut. This next song I think we're going to do is called Glassy Eyes, which I think a few of you have heard in a few different ways and iterations. But it's about representation. Hope you enjoy it. There will be haze. I need you to do the haze with me. Cool? Cool. Living this life is amazing, but we feeling so wavy. Hey, 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 hey. Living this life is amazing, but we feeling so wavy. Hey, 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 hey. Living this life is amazing, but we feeling so wavy. I am not here to be average, every beat I touch is rapid. Look, my ambition is massive, I am not here to be passive. I am not here for you has-been, this is my chance to go grab this. Distractions are no-go. NPC or OG, otherwise I'm rolling solo. She been feeding for that good one, acting like I'm Miyamoto. I ignore it, keep it moving. Look, not trying to be cold, yo. I'm way too focused on the next move. Loyalty, my ladies holding me down. Here to be the gang, super dick shots, whatever, take a get the groove. Here's the situation, let's review. It used to be we were not included in the breakfast conversation. Moving like an engine for us to a friend and lose it. Roll the dice, playing rappers always like a safety. Matter races, always talking about experience and never shit about these matter races. So we advocate for people that we have a place here. I can tell we can justify it. Bring it up and see you get to buy it. Hit the shows and you can't deny it. Ask them about it, what you think about it. Hip hop up to that and it's great. Hurry up, I'm so we can read what I wanted to try and say. Look at kind of business and from y'all conversations that we build, present that concept you make it. Pull up what we make. Our statements we're here to stay. Living this life is amazing, but when we feeling so wavy. Hey, 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 hey. Living this life is amazing, but when we feeling so wavy. Hey, 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 hey. Living this life is amazing, but when we feeling so wavy. I am not here to be average, every beat I touch is rapid. Look, my ambition is massive, I am not here to be passive. I am not here for you has-been, this is my chance to go grab this. Glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. No clue how this generated. Broke through trying to interfaces and expose you to my entertainment. Different, ain't it? Interested what filling your ears with my substance do. You were chilling there, you let dash into that mind frame. You're hungry too, so let's eat together. They get scared when they see perfection. Talk about the feeling because they beats the record and they shed another energy to figure out a way to get defeat the effort. But I'm just starving, Should've found a way to come and feed me breakfast like you did it. If you willing, every beat I got a kid, I got a drizzy, I'm fulfilling, I don't need you heckling. When you got hands, don't be too reckless. The last time was a meaty reference. On allies, I believe the message to pursue. Every lead to the needs of method. Outpace me, be the least impressive. You know, I result for every winning. I'm the only creator, so they ever live can beat a weapon. I don't know my limits till I meet to test them. Check your faces just to keep you guessing. What do you think you can do to me? I'm my own enemy. Your hands and go. I work like I'm going to for me is the unity. If you were asking how do I keep moving with all that I'm doing, I beast with impunity. One of the game. Apologies if you're pursuing me. Tell them I'm coming for it. Living this life is amazing. Why don't we feeling so wavy? Hey, hey, hey. Hey, living this life is amazing. Why don't we feeling so wavy? Yeah. Living this life is amazing. Why don't we feeling so wavy? I am not here to be average. Every beat I touch is ravage. So my ambition is massive. I am not here to be passive. I am not here for you has-beens. This is my chance to go rap. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, we broke that glass ceiling. Thank you.
Very good. Got some audience participation going here, so yeah, good deal. All right. Let's see. There we go. Birthdays this week. We've got April 6th is Shala Drake. April 7th is Kylie. Oh. Today. Oh. Yes, I did. Jeanette Baugh is today. Yeah, these readers are not working as good as I thought they were going to work, so. We'll start over. Jeanette Baugh today. Shala Drake, April the 6th. The 7th is Kylie Bush. Joshua Patterson is April the 8th. Lisa Lund Phillips, April the 9th. Sarah Geelan, April the 10th. Jim Fisk is April 12th, and Kimberly DeRhodes, April 16th. All right, and we love science in the Oasis community. Scan this QR code to vote and help him win. Do you like science? Do you like kids being inspired to learn more about science? Then scan the code to vote for Veronica's son, Torben, to win a chance to meet Bill Nye, the science guy, a mention in Reader's Digest, and a $20,000 prize to help support his education. He is still in the running. This QR code will also be in the slides in the lobby. I have voted. I hope you have. Be sure you do. All right. The book club will meet after Oasis today. For those who read the book for April, if you want to join next month on May the 3rd, now would be a good time to begin reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabriel Zevin. And the group, I do know that they do appreciate it. You're all welcome to come if you join the book club group, but keep your mouth closed if you didn't actually read the book when you showed up. So, all right. Micah Ministry serves hundreds of people a meal on Monday evening from 5:15 to 7:15. They help anyone, regardless of race, gender, religious, or non-religious affiliation, sex, sexual orientation, or any other trait. Join us tomorrow in helping our less fortunate neighbors. Join us this Tuesday for a dinner social event at Strang Hall Food Hall in Overland Park, starting at 6 o'clock. Recovering from Religion hosts a support group meeting here in this building on the second Thursday of the month, which is this Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. We'll hear more about that later. On Saturday at noon, you can join us for a free family-friendly event at the American Royal Hale Arena. Visit alpacas, talk to the alpaca owners, and see the beautiful product that comes from alpacas. You know, the South America, kind of a sheep thing, I guess, but... Well, they move around in herds, and they take their hair and they make sweaters out of them, so... All right. And next Sunday, we are having a silent auction fundraiser, potluck, and an hour of fun music to celebrate our 12th anniversary. We start at 11 as usual. Oasis is providing a barbecue main dish, including a vegetarian and vegan option. Please sign up to bring a side or dessert. Party music will be provided by Jamoji and the Jammers. The next round of the Tuesday dance classes starts April the 14th, but is only 2 weeks long. So plan to attend both. $15 per class. No partners needed. Mark your calendar now to ask for time off or use a volunteer day to assist us on Friday, April the 17th from 1 to 4 p.m., assisting with people with disabilities by helping them in cleaning up their yards. Location will be announced just before the event. And please plan to join us on Saturday, April the 18th for a community center workday from noon till 4 to continue to improve our community center. Projects will include cleaning, painting, organizing, and more. All right, we had so much fun last year. We're doing it again. Mayflowers pub crawl at 539th Street Bars on May 2nd from 2 to 6 p.m. This is open to anyone in the public who wants to attend. If you purchase your ticket at the merch table, you won't have to pay the Eventbrite online ticket fee. So you can save yourself a little bit there. All right. If that's too much to keep track of, you go to our upcoming events page on kcoasis.org and scroll to the bottom of the page, and you can subscribe to add all of your events to your calendar. You can also delete the ones you aren't attending. New events will automatically be added for you. Which brings us to our community moment. Community moments are an opportunity for a member of our community to present on a topic of their choice during a Sunday gathering. For today's community moment, we will hear from Ethan and David. 3 words to describe Ethan are curious, thoughtful, and caring. If he had a warning label, it would be, "My baked goods may cause spontaneous friendship." That's pretty good. I like that. So, all right, come on up. Oh, up, sorry. One more. Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. And then we have 2. So David's 3 words are seeker, observer, and naturalist. And his warning label is, "I ask questions." All right, we're ready now. You want to get on this?
Morning. So we're here to talk about recovering from religion today. Many people can find themselves in a place of doubt or even non-belief when it comes to their religion, but changing or letting go of religious beliefs can bring about deep struggles with identity and purpose, can potentially lead to the loss of community, loss of family relationships, social isolation, emotional pain, and a whole range of other challenges. Recovering from Religion is a nonprofit organization started by our very own Dr. Darrell Ray, with a mission to provide hope, healing, and support to those struggling with issues of doubt and non-belief. Recovering from Religion started as one support group here in Kansas City 15 years ago and has grown to 45 support groups either online or in person in 8 different countries worldwide.
So before Ethan and I started Recovering from Religion here at the Kansas City Oasis Community Center, I had kind of a limited understanding of recovery, only because my trauma took place in childhood, and I've had a lot of time to process that information. But since we started doing this, I've discovered that it's a lot more intense. I didn't realize how intense it could be for somebody leaving the religion and finding new paths, new people to be with. I really had a good time and a privilege to do this with people, helping people on the journey. It's been very rewarding experience.
Yeah. Recovering from Religion support groups, which David and I run, provide a safe, anonymous place to express doubts and fears, and to feel seen and heard through one's personal journey of letting go of religious beliefs. Our goal isn't to debate anyone, deconvert them, but rather provide a safe place to listen and provide them with support as they figure out their own beliefs. David and I started a group that meets here in person last summer in July. Started with just a couple people, and since then it's grown to about 10 or so for the past few meetings, with people coming from all kinds of different religious backgrounds. And that's second Thursday of the month. The next one's this week, 7 to 9 p.m. RFR, in addition to the in-person groups, RFR also provides online support groups for general support, as well as groups targeted at specific individuals, such as an LGBTQ plus group, a Spanish-speaking group, and a suicide loss survivor group, as well as some others. I personally started joining the online LGBTQ plus group when I was still living in an intentional Christian community. That group helped provide a bridge that led me to find my way out of the cult where I was living and eventually accepting my sexuality.
As we said, this is an in-person group, and Kansas City Oasis has generously allowed us to use this space on the second Thursday of every month. It's really important, I've found anyway, to have an in-person group. There's a lot of things that go on in person that can't happen online or just talking to somebody over the phone. And a lot of that's about body language. You can actually see people's responses when you're talking, and get support and feedback from people just by them leaning forward, paying attention, simple nods. All those nonverbal cues really provide support while somebody's talking about something incredibly traumatizing to them. And that's a really important benefit. So again, really appreciate Kansas City Oasis for doing that.
Yeah. In addition to support groups, Recovering from Religion also provides a helpline where anyone struggling with beliefs can talk to a supportive, non-judgmental volunteer anytime by calling the phone number or calling through the website, starting a text-based chat, or scheduling a call for a different time. In addition to that, RFR has a private online community with channels dedicated to people from specific religious backgrounds or discussing topics such as critical thinking, finding community, or other identity groups such as people who work in the clergy or are LGBTQ+. The online community is carefully vetted to keep out any disruptive people that you might find online and provide a safe place for people to have very sensitive discussions. You can join that online community anonymously by contacting the RFR helpline and talking with an agent there.
So these are important resources that RFR has available online for people. While our in-person group is great, it's not something that just happens to people the second Thursday of every month. They have a life and they continue to go out their day. So if they have something that they need to talk about or urgently discuss with somebody, you can find those resources online at RFR. And it's a good thing to have available. It's it provides like a really strong sense of community when you get online and join in that way too. It's very important to have those in-person, those resources outside of in-person group.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people who find themselves where all of their family is in a church, all of their friends are in a church, and they don't have anybody that they can talk to about their beliefs. And maybe coming to a support group feels like too big of a first step, but reaching out to text chat someone online and just say, hey, I'm asking questions, can take a big load off. In addition to the helpline, Recovering from Religion's website, recoveringfromreligion.org, also has an extensive resource database with links to books, videos, and articles on a whole range of topics from fear of hell to how to find community. It can be a great place to look if you are having a discussion with someone and they're having doubts about their beliefs, but maybe they're asking questions that you don't really have the background to answer. You can point them in that direction or look on there to find resources on all kinds of topics and targeted at specific religious backgrounds as well. I know for me, online resources played a huge part in my recovery from a lifetime of indoctrination, attending a fundamentalist church, going to a fundamentalist K-12 school, and then years of Bible college after that. I spent so much time studying the Bible from a dogmatic point of view. It really helped me to find resources that approached the Bible from an academic point of view and pointed out how it really came together and its flaws and its contradictions and how it relates to other literature of its contemporary time. It wasn't just this perfect thing that descended from the heavens. That was very useful to me. Growing up in a cult, there was a lot of things I wasn't taught that you can find resources about on this website, such as critical thinking, scientific thinking, logical fallacies, evolution, mental health issues, which I was told were just demons.
They are. Yeah, they're just demons.
Learning something new here.
We talk about a lot of subjects in the in-person group. Loneliness and isolation is a big one. Family dynamics, apocalyptic thinking, sexuality. No topic is taboo for us. People in our group that come to our support group are very thoughtful and insightful people. So they usually find some way to empathize with somebody else's experience and voice that similarities. And it really makes a difference when somebody can hear from another person that they've had a similar experience. Makes you feel dramatically less isolated that way.
Absolutely. And for people who need more than just the peer support that can be provided by a support group or by contacting a helpline, there's also the Secular Therapy Project that can help connect people with a therapist who's been vetted to only provide evidence-based secular treatment for mental health issues. I found my therapist through the Secular Therapy Project, and it's really good to come into that first session knowing that I'm not going to meet someone who maybe has ideas about gay conversion therapy or would tell you that you should pray to help find peace or go to church to find community, things like that. Recovering from Religion is a nonprofit organization and is always looking for volunteers or donations. Training is provided for all volunteer roles, so you don't have to figure out any of this on your own. One kind of volunteer we're looking for is helpline agents. And agents, again, their job isn't to debate or deconvert people or tell them what to do, but rather to to go through training to be an active listener, to provide empathy and support to people, and then help point them in the direction of resources that can help them figure out their own beliefs for themselves. In a similar way, support group leaders and co-leaders do a similar thing, provide a safe place to have discussions and help facilitate that, not tell people what to believe, not tell them what to do. There are support groups online and in person. Most groups, it's 2 hours once a month. You can go and help co-host for a while and just, again, help facilitate discussions. In addition, we're always looking for help with the web development side of things for the online resources, online community moderators, social media marketing, which is a lot of just like, hey, take this template about announcing events and put things in, post that graphic on Facebook, or people to help post TikToks and things like that. We're also looking for writers to write blog posts, ambassadors to go to events and things like that. There's more information about that on the website. Like I mentioned earlier, RFR is all over social media and YouTube. You can follow them on Facebook. There's a link tree there with their other social media. Every Monday at 7 p.m., they have a show called RFRX, where they'll have speakers talking about a variety of topics, including religious trauma, relationship issues, how to build community, grief, science communication, critical thinking, and many other topics. You can join that on Zoom if you want to participate in the question and answer afterwards, or just watch the live stream on YouTube or catch the recording there as well. RFR's YouTube channel also has other series, including deconstruction stories from volunteers. If you'd like to hear more about my experience growing up and eventually leaving an intentional Christian community, this is another word for cult, you can find that video on their YouTube channel as well.
So I wanted to talk about a little bit how my experience in this and how it happened. Ethan approached me last year about this time about being a co-host. I'd always wanted to do something with RFR, but I didn't have that little push, and thanks to Ethan having a little bit more organizational skills than I do, I was actually able to get involved, and I finally felt that I could dive in and take part. I'm really glad that I did. Being part of RFR has been incredibly rewarding. It's pushed me to take a deeper look at my own experiences, and it's given me a lot of new insight. And that insight really didn't come from anything that complicated. All I did was listen to people and talk to them, and it made a big difference for me. The people in this group are incredibly brave. It takes real courage to question long-held beliefs and risk part of your social support structure, and just to be true to yourself. There's been several people that have been coming for months, and I've seen those people in just a few months process all kinds of difficult emotions. I'm really impressed by them, and they're good people. I'm truly grateful to be part of this, and thank you, Daryl. Is Daryl in here? Where is he? He's hiding back there. Yeah, Daryl. Thanks, Daryl, for getting this started. Appreciate that a lot. And thank you to Kansas City Oasis for giving this space.
Did I hear you say that the scripture didn't just descend from above? Is that what? Hey, if English was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. So. All right, we do have a couple of announcements we missed. Stephanie Reed is such a great participant and supporter of Oasis. Her birthday is April the 7th. So wish her a happy birthday. She's here. Also, our kids' room volunteer had an issue, couldn't make it today, so we don't have a kids' room set up for today. So, all right. All right, so now we're going to do the coffee break. During the coffee break, try to introduce yourself to someone you don't know. See the TV over the center doors for more upcoming events and information. We'll see you back here in 20 minutes. One. And here we are, end of the coffee break. We'll advance this slide to the next one. So that brings us back to Kadesh Flow. He's going to entertain us with another number. Come on up, Kadesh. Let's see.
Did everybody meet somebody new? Sweet. That's true. Was it Tim? Yes. This song's called Married Talk. I wrote it after recovering from a mental breakdown of sorts a while back. Put everything on the line, but tried to stay safe in the process. Made no sense, resulted in losses. No sleep, I've been tossing, trying, but all of this cost me. Hope is too gone. Environment can stop like I gambled away my wounds, and I did in my darker days. Nightmares from the moment they towed my car away. Wondering if I had the guts to persevere, or how Costco moment where mind and heart would break. I've been so afraid, despite a life where I'm walking into the goals I've made. I'm celebrating when never making a tone to take. This is what I wanted, momentum from microphone and stage. Growing despite global crisis that kept the hope at bay. How do you cherish stumble lust when now I'm alone away? Weeping as I think of the homies, still in stolen graves. She ripped my heart from my chest, I feel like Itadori. Lit on the inside, but you know it shouldn't end my story. The curses fade before me. I get EXP from adversity, yeah. Then I level up, cause it's still working out for me. Yeah. I get EXP from adversity. Yeah. Then I level up, cause it's still working out for me. Look. Infuriated cause I didn't start soon to feel vicious channel my inner sukkah the rage dragging me with the desperate to get through. Too much power pull from desperation can wreck you. Moves get disrespectful. I remained Deku, became special and recognized it. Look at my fear, how I fought to the forefront despite it. So why would I let the setbacks and the pain define me and leave the passion with the flames that remain behind me? Who told me to give up? Who told me it's all over just because the year sucked? Who convinced me no one could ever love me for me? That committed to me would be too much to handle. It's a future no one's willing to see. Who made me think the art within my heart was a burden? I'm growing stronger. Of course I'll be hurting, but when doubt tries to grapple like Baki, I've got the moxie to curb it. The good and the bad, all of it's worth it. When I win, I deserve it. I get EXP from adversity and level up, cause it's still working out for me. Yeah. I get EXP from adversity, yeah. Then I level up, cause it's still working out for me. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. All right. So, for our featured speaker, our program is designed to generate conversation and engage our powers of reason, not as a forum to start debates. The following presentation has been prepared by our speaker and not by KC Oasis. Please respect the views of our speaker, and if you have any questions, a Q&A portion will follow. All right. Johnny Rizvi is a founding member of the Oasis Network. He's a Pakistani American, born in Houston, by the way, so tip of the hat, fellow Texan. That's why I thought I'd wear the uniform today. And he became a free thinker in 2007. Johnny served on the Houston Oasis Board of Directors for 7 years. He serves on the marketing committee for the National Oasis Network and attends the Galveston Bay Oasis in Texas. Hang on just a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Thank you, Kansas City. I always get the most amazing welcome here. It's good to be back at Kansas City Oasis. I love being here and seeing this amazing space and all the incredible work that's being done here. Recovering from religion and Oasis have been showing me around all weekend long, and it's just filled my cup. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. So when we scheduled this talk, it was several months ago, and I was going to do a talk about Islam, and I was like, okay, it's going to be Easter Sunday, and so what better way to celebrate than talking about Islam, I guess. And it became super relevant because a war's broken out now, and now I've got a lot more to talk to you about than I originally did. So I'm looking forward to our conversation today. Yes, I am a board member of the Oasis Network, and I've been a board member of Houston Oasis, and I've just termed out of both roles. We've got term limits in place for good reasons. And now they've asked me to come back and elected me the president of the Oasis Network. So thank you. Thank you. And I'm here filming for the Recovering from Religion documentary, so it's been super exciting. I want to tell you a little bit about my Muslim background. And I grew up in a Shia Muslim community. Now, Shia is a minority sect, represents about 15% of Muslims, so not the majority there. And I grew up in a Muslim community in Houston, Texas. And the difference between Sunni and Shia is an estate planning issue. So after the Prophet Muhammad's, who was supposed to be the leader? Well, the majority believed they had to pick one from among his companions. And the minority, the Shias, the ones that I was raised in, they believed that the Prophet's family was supposed to succeed and be in leadership roles. And it's their belief, the Shia Muslim belief, that the Prophet Muhammad was very clear, open, and public about who should have been succeeding him, and it's a grand conspiracy that while the family members of the Prophet were grieving his loss and burying him, the companions who were greedy for power scrambled amongst each other to figure out who was going to take the lead. And thus is resulted two separate sects of Islam over the last 1,400 years. And they've developed differences in beliefs and practices over time. So one of the easy ways that you know whether it's a Sunni or Shia is when you look at the way that they do their prayers in rows. The majority Sunni, they clasp their hands as they are in their rows. And the Shias, they have their hands to their sides when they're in a row for prayer. So just looking at their prayer, you'll see that difference. Why is that difference? Well, the Shia side that I grew up in, they said, well, the leaders of the other group secretly loved their idols and they wanted to hold them close to their chest. The other side does not like that. And one of the other big differences is who's in charge today. Who are we supposed to be listening to? Who is qualified to make rulings and judgments about what life is supposed to look like in the modern world? Well, for the majority Sunni, their religious leaders are called muftis, and they're high-ranking religious scholars, and they are allowed to make a determination, a ruling of how people can, what people should do today if there's a question. In Shia Islam, there are people that the community believes are so incredibly knowledgeable. They have such a mastery of the faith that their words and their teachings are a sign of God. Sign of God. The word sign is said as ayat, and God is Allah. Ayatollah, Ayatollah, Ayatollah is the religious leader of Shia Muslims, and they are the ones who are qualified to tell the community how to go about their normal day-to-day life. And these ayatollahs are, they're all kind of together on the same page, and they might have some minor differences with each other, and people can choose which one they like to follow. And among them, they select someone that they think is so knowledgeable and inspirational that that person is going to be the leader. Now, I'm a Pakistani, and in Pakistan, normally, Shiaism is 15%. Well, in Pakistan, Shia Islam is 40%. So that's how I'm my family is Pakistani. But there is one country where the overwhelming majority of people are Shia. It's almost entirely Shia Muslims. And that is the country of Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is the big bad guy today. So I got told, hey, come to Oasis and talk about Islam. I'm like, all right, here we go. Mosques today, in the modern era, they're separated by not just religion, but culture. So it's not just Sunni and Shia mosque, it's the Arab Shia mosque, the Persian Shia mosque, the Pakistani Shia mosque. People just feel comfortable with their own. They want to eat, they want to listen to their language, they want to eat their food, they want to celebrate in the way that they celebrate. But when I was a child, there was, in the 1990s, growing up as a Shia Muslim, there was only one Shia mosque, and that mosque was having services in English, Arabic, Farsi, and Urdu. It was an incredible production. The community couldn't afford the building, but there was a foundation that shared in the expenses so that the building could function. And that foundation was funded completely by the Iranian government. And that foundation was meant to spread Islamic teachings to people all over the world. When the Ayatollahs came into power in Iran, they wanted their Islamic revolution to spread. And so educating people on Islam was how they wanted to go about doing that. So I grew up in this community. I grew up with these people. And the imam of the mosque was someone who was always a traveling imam from Iran. So what was my experience with them? Mostly I was there for social reasons. I wanted to play basketball and eat kebabs, and that was the only place my parents would take me, so that was my only choice at the time. But even when I no longer agreed with Islam, when I after college and when I wanted to academically study Islam and I decided it wasn't for me anymore, well, my parents they wanted to take me to the mosque and say, whatever you want to ask, go ahead and ask. You know how it is. I don't have any questions, but I am going to do this because I want to show you that I love you, Mom and Dad, and that this isn't about that. I love you and I'll always love you. That'll never change. The imam of the mosque, the Iranian traveling leader, he hears out my parents who are like, well, we'll have to disown him if he doesn't come back to the religion. So he says, look, no one's disowning anybody, okay? That's your son. And we can have conversations, and those could take time. But no one is disowning anybody. So that traveling imam was kind to me. Even when I was an atheist, I didn't believe any of what his whole life was about. And I won't forget that. In Iran, the top schools where Shia Islam is studied are in a city called Qom. I have had friends that I grew up in the mosque with that wanted to become religious scholars, that went from Houston to Qom, became religious scholars, or people who wanted to live a completely faithful life, and now they live there. And I am worried sick about those people right now. They are my friends. That's my community that I grew up in. I want to acknowledge my privilege here. I'm a straight male. And if I was not that, my experience with the community may have been wildly different, right? I'm going to acknowledge that. I also understand that the governments of various Muslim-majority countries are oppressive and brutal and suppress dissent. I want to acknowledge that. But I am here to talk to you about your everyday Muslims that you see. That's important to me to tell you about. How do the Muslims among us, especially here in the U.S., how do they see themselves? What is their faith about? It is about the stories that inspire them to be good. So I'll tell you some of them that inspired me when I was a kid. I never thought I was an idiot. I wasn't someone, the text and everything was important, but really my Islam was about being a good person. And there's a story that they tell that the Prophet Muhammad used to, walk through the town, and there was always an elderly woman who would throw trash at him every time he walked by, because he was preaching something different than what the people there believed. And every day he'd walk by, and every day she'd throw trash at him. And so one day he's walking by, and no trash is coming his way. So he goes and he inquires. He's like, "Hey, what happened to my friend here?" And she's very ill. So he prays with her, prays for her, wishes her well, cares for her. And of course the story says she embraced Islam upon seeing that kindness. There are stories of, especially during Ramadan, when we would fast from the sunrise to sunset, can't eat or drink any water. And the whole exercise was meant to put you, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what you've amassed or accomplished, in a position to feel poverty, to feel hunger. And that if you could somehow manage the needs of your body, that would help you with your desires that may have not been all pure. Muslims commemorate Abraham's sacrifice of his son by donating food to the needy all over the world, in their communities, every single year. I also have the same qualms with that story about Abraham that all of us do. But every year I still give to the Houston Food Bank to commemorate that holiday. In the Hajj, that pilgrimage that Muslims go on, everyone wears the same outfit. It is a plain white sheet. And it's meant to tell you and remind you that no matter who you think you are or where you think you've done, you are all equal. Everyone. And what a nice message that is when in even today's world. Muslims are required to pay 2.5% of their savings every year to charity. Every year. They're required to do it. And so every year, charities will have a drive to kind of compete for those donation dollars. And it made us feel like we were giving back and doing good. And in the Quran, it says there is no compulsion in religion. Right there in the book. It says in the Quran that if you take one single life, it's as if taking the life of all of humanity. And that if you save one life, it's as if you're saving all of humanity. And that is the Islam we practiced. That is what we were doing here. Now, that's really not the feeling you get when you get when you hear about Islam nowadays, it's very frustrating to Muslims. Muslims look back upon their golden age, which was late 7th century, early 10th century. It was a time when Muslims were the scientific and academic leaders of the world. In Spain, their society was one where Christians and Muslims and Jews got together in harmony. It was a time of beautiful Islamic architecture that Muslims look at and celebrate to this day. Muslims were leaders in navigation and cartography. Islam was a tolerant, inclusive, and intellectual society. So Muslims today, they say, we had it. That was it. We had it. And then all these leaders, they got corrupt and they messed it all up. And today, Muslims are incredibly frustrated with leaders in the Muslim majority world. The oil-rich countries, they just want to hang on to their power and wealth. And the countries that don't have oil are in extreme poverty. And those places are full of corruption the same. So the everyday Muslim feels helpless. They want that tolerant society. They want to be good. And they want to be seen as the leaders that Islam once was in the world. And it's gone. In the countries where there is a lack of education, they're war-torn, there's no jobs, no economic opportunity, those are the places where that message that you can do something with your life that is meaningful, you can give your life to make God happy, you can fight against the enemies of Islam, you can go to paradise and live, not here in this horrible place, but in the garden with flowing rivers, and that you would be considered one of the best of humanity. Now, if you want to be an engineer, that's not an appealing message. It's only appealing if there is absolutely nothing else. Now, y'all are thinking, but Johnny, I know that there is violence in the Quran and there's violence in Islamic history. What do Muslims think about that? Well, they think that that was specifically in a context for that time. There was something happening, there was a conflict at that time, and that was describing that unique situation. That's not something you're supposed to be doing today. However, the extremists have to interpret that differently. If they're going to do what they want to do, they have to say, no, that's something we're always going to be doing. There's no end to that. That always happens. And Muslims, your everyday Muslims, are frustrated that the overall victims of terrorism are overwhelmingly other Muslims. Overwhelmingly. So Muslims are terrified of terrorism, and they're terrified of being seen as terrorists. Recently, my fiance and I, we went on a vacation, and I could see the way security was looking at me. And I said to her, honey, I'll meet you on the plane. I'm about to get a security check. You're a random one. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, it's okay, baby. I'll just see you on the plane. It's fine. I'll see you. You go on ahead. They're going to want to spend a few minutes with me. And she's like, how do you know that? And I was like, just watch. And sure enough, there was a random selection. And I thought, a random selection. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. We hate it. We absolutely hate it, but we got to take it with a smile so that we don't look scary to anybody. I'm not going to be able to stop looking the way I look. It's just how it's going to be. And people who wear a headscarf are treated that way, and people who have a beard are treated that way. After 9/11, it was incredible. The Shia mosque said, a man can shave his beard and a woman can take off her headscarf. Don't let anything bad happen to you. They were terrified. Muslims were terrified. And you might think, what about those Muslims that were celebrating after 9/11? What about that? What's that all about? There are Muslims who have real frustrations with the U.S. government. And that frustration comes from a couple of reasons. And I'm going to share those with you, okay? There's no justification for violence or terror ever. There isn't. But they don't hate us for our freedoms. That's not it. They don't care about that. But I'll just stick to Iran for now. It's because that's the community that I've come from. The U.S. installed a leader in Iran that had friendly terms for the United States to get oil. And the people there felt like they were being cheated. So they had a revolution, and it was a religious one. And so the U.S. says, okay, well, we're going to go to our friend Saddam Hussein and give him a bunch of weapons because we're not going to have these Iranians not give us oil at the terms that we wanted. And so now Iran goes to war with Iraq. And then when Iraq is doing too well, the U.S. thinks, well, we can't let Iraq control all of this oil. So then they start giving weapons to the Iranians. And Muslims feel like the U.S. doesn't care. And if it's all about freedom and democracy, why are we aligning ourselves with brutal dictators who hurt Muslims? Well, one of the biggest reasons that Muslims are frustrated is because of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Muslims feel like their lives don't matter, that the treatment of civilians is disproportionately brutal. Now, it's astounding that I'm seeing this in my lifetime here, much later in life, but I remember as being in college and looking at the news, and I would look at the BBC because American media I just didn't feel was giving it enough attention. But here you read in the news that Israel's bombed a refugee camp, and I thought, well, there's surely going to be some consequence for this. They can't just bomb a refugee camp. Or there was a bombing at a hospital or a school, or Israeli settlements are expanding, bulldozing the homes of Palestinian people and turning them into refugees, and expanding and expanding and expanding. And surely that can't be allowed. Surely there's a way to deal with this. Someone's going to do something or say something about this. And a lot of people say, well, how come they're always resorting to terrorism? Why don't they try doing things the right way? Well, what's the right way? The right way might be that you take your grievance to the United Nations and you say, hey, this is not cool. This is not fair. This shouldn't be allowed. This needs to be stopped. But what happens every single time they've gone to the United Nations to try to get a resolution, to try to stop the atrocities, to have it addressed? Over 50 times, everyone else in the world agrees things went too far. But one vote vetoes the resolution critical of Israel, and it's always the United States. One vote vetoing everyone else in the world, saying, hey, that wasn't cool. That was too far. We can't do that. And Muslim people are frustrated. And they see on the news billions of dollars being sent to people who are hurting them. And they feel frustrated. So when terrorists put their sights on the United States, it is not because they hate our freedoms. It is because they feel like they are the victims. And they're just fighting back against the person or the government that's hurting them. They don't have an issue with everyday American people. They're trying to fight back for their survival. It is not the right way to do it. But it's important to me that you understand where Muslims today are coming from. I think it's very important. So I'll tell you a little bit about leaving Islam. How am I on time? Great. Leaving Islam is every bit as tragic as you would imagine. Here we have a disadvantaged, underprivileged minority of people that's blamed for every horrible thing the worst one of them does. People are scared of them. And then you're like, I don't want to play for the team anymore. And they're like, you don't think we have it bad enough and now you want to go add fuel to the fire? You want to start telling people they shouldn't be Muslim anymore? You don't think we have it bad enough here? And that's not the intention. A lot of us who come from religious backgrounds have looked historically at what's happened, and we've decided that we don't agree with that. That doesn't represent our values. We don't think that that's true. We don't think it happened. But socially, it's awful. And I'll tell you the worst part. In my family, things are sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Just depends on the season. And right now, last time I was here, things were great. But right now, things are awful. Because I told my family, I've met an amazing person and I want to marry her. And they're like, well, you're supposed to marry the person we tell you to marry. You're supposed to get an arranged marriage. And I'm like, yeah, I really don't think I'm going to marry a Muslim person. I'm really not that, and I haven't been for a long time. So they're not talking to me. That I can deal with, because sometimes that happens. But what's happened in addition is my little niece and nephew, who I love with all of my heart, they've said, you're not a good example for them, so we can't let you see him. Now, I'm not someone that's going around telling them, hey, don't believe in Islam. I'm here to tell them, hey, listen to your parents. When you're an adult, you can figure things out yourself, but right now you got to do what they tell you. It's fair. I'm here to support their rules. But just because I'm happy, successful, I have a community of people behind me, I have a lot of support, just that makes the option of a secular life real to them. They don't want that option to even exist for my niece and nephew. So I can't see them, and I don't like it. Thank goodness I have y'all. Thank goodness I have Houston Oasis. I would not be doing very well if not for my community that's constantly there for me, always there to support me, always there to remind me that they're my family too. I'm so grateful for you. And I'm grateful for organizations like Recovering from Religion who help people who are going through that sort of thing. But now I'm the president of the Oasis Network. And I'm taking my experiences because I truly believe that secular people deserve an option. I think everywhere, everyone deserves the option to have the social benefits of the religious communities and the intellectual stimulation of educational programming that we get at Oasis and the extended family. I believe everybody deserves the option, and if they want it, they ought to have it. So I am here for the next couple of years as president to connect with these chapters, to connect with people out there who want something like this and help them make it happen. They don't have to reinvent the wheel. The Oasis Network's got the formula, and we've got all the leaders from all of our chapters to help support them. And truly believe that we can create communities where people are more important than beliefs. Thank you, Kansas City, for having me.
All right, we got time for a few questions. I think I'll ask the first one. So many people here in Oasis were churchgoers, and they miss the community, and that's part of the attraction. But they just not buying the belief.
Yep.
The reputation of Islam is that you leave the faith, you're marked for death, in which that's maybe true, not true. Do you think there's a lot of people that go to mosque and go to services who really, they're there for the same reason we come here?
Yes.
And that's
absolutely.
all.
I mean, the advice I've always been given is don't tell your parents you don't believe any of this. Just come hang out, bro. Just fine, But that's not honest.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about doing that. And, in America, it happens, tragically. It happens that people lose their lives. But that overwhelmingly comes from communities that come from less educated parts of the Muslim world.
Yeah.
Your normal average people, they'll just be mad at their kids. They're just mad. And they've hurt and betrayed. They're not going to kill them. In America, in overseas, I'm hearing overseas that atheism is spreading like wildfire. Like a lot of people are rejecting faith because they see it, the examples of it, and they don't like what they're seeing. So they know what they can say and do and not do. And for a lot of it, especially in Pakistan, it's becoming, you can say you don't believe any of this stuff, nothing. But if you go around trying to have an atheism parade, that might be crossing the line, right? So they know, what their boundary is, and they stay within that boundary, and that's where it's at overseas.
Yeah. Okay. Got a question.
First of all, thank you for a much-needed talk. That was great.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
My question is, what would be a good resource to acquire to become educated with a lot of good information about Islam, the variations, the similarities, etc.?
Like academically. I grew up. I grew up in the mosque reading the books that the mosque gave us, that foundation that was run by the Iranian government, and I was like, people need to learn this stuff. And then I went to college, and the professor discussed how the Quran was collected, and that story did not add up. It did not jive. And I was immediately mortified. I was like, what did that guy just say? Because I thought it was some miraculous thing that happened, right? So, that becomes eye-opening. I will post in the chat for y'all a couple of the academic books that helped me. And we have Oasis members who were former Muslims. They've written books too. So I'll share those for y'all as well. I don't want to miss anything. So that's what I'll do. I'll share that with you, and thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the presentation
Absolutely.
and for the examples that you gave about like the specific stories from Islam and the individuals
Of
that
course.
you mentioned. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. I've also been trying to navigate my own relationship with Islam for the past couple of years, and I was wondering what the conversation may have been like for you to tell your family that maybe Islam is not a big part of your life anymore, and what kind of advice you have for someone like me who is trying to still keep a good relationship with her nieces and nephews, and also be in my truth. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking, and thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. But the important thing is to have a safe space, right? Well, one, just know that this is a safe space where we can ask questions, we can disagree, and we can be kind to each other. That's important. You have Oasis. Just know that you do. And then also, I believe that we are those of us who decide that Islam isn't for us. Sometimes it's like going through stages of grief. So you could have an anger stage, and you're like, I cannot believe I spent all the time of my life doing that. And then you could have you could be very sad, and you can have denial, like, hey, everything's okay, everything's fine, nothing's changed, it's all good. And we can have all of these stages of grief. And in those stages, sometimes we mistreat each other because our family is hurt and we're hurt. I am saying that as hard as it is, I recommend living the Muslim values of our families and being the living example of those values. So and that if our families are treating us badly, then we could say, I think that it's important in Islam to be kind. What does Islam say about anger, right? And what does Islam say about being mean and wrong? And we can look at those and say, I share this value. I agree with this. So let's be this, and to remind our families we love them. That this is not a rejection of our family. This is not a rejection of who they are. It doesn't mean we hate Islam. It doesn't mean that. We can say that we've learned so much from it, and it's made us a better person. We simply don't agree with the historical story, and we don't think that is something that we believe and we don't want to do. And we want to be honest about that so we can have a relationship that is honest rather than being dishonest with each other. We don't want to lie to our families and tell them, I don't want to lie to you. I want to be honest with you. I love you. I don't agree with that. And the one more thing I want to tell you about that is, thank you for asking. You don't owe anyone any answers, okay? Is every Muslim an Islamic scholar that they could tell you everything about Islam and justify every single thing? They're not, and they don't have to be, and neither do any of us. We do not have to give a 10-point presentation on why we don't believe this. We don't owe anyone that. If we don't want to believe it, we don't have to. We support the right of anyone who wants to believe and to practice and to preach, and we reserve that right for ourselves also, with kindness and respect. And if ever we feel like we're in a situation where abuse is coming towards us, we are justified to say, I don't think that this is productive and I don't want to be treated this way, so I need to leave.
Hi, thanks for coming. I have always heard that there are unbridgeable economic and structural inequalities in most Muslim societies, maybe more true in the Gulf states. Are there specific teachings in Islam that promote structural inequalities, or is Islam used to get people to accept inequalities?
Anyone who wants to do what they want to do will find something in the religious text to justify what it is they want to do. And that is the only way to do it, right? So if you have an educated society, that educated society wants a strong economy, they want good jobs, they want their families to be safe, they want, just like us, and they want equality and peace. And that will, and over time, education and communication, bridges get built and good things happen. It's when there's some corruption, there's some greed, there's some power that things go wrong. I believe in the human potential. I absolutely believe in it, and I've seen it. I'm part of a charity organization that helps have secular education in rural parts of Pakistan. And this is the places where they get preached the most extreme things. But out of the schools, elementary, middle, and high schools, we're getting the kindest, most compassionate people who go on to get great jobs and give back to their communities and be living examples of tolerance. So I don't believe that what the religion says is relevant. You know, it's the people will use it the way they want to, and people who want to do good, kind things, they'll use it the way they want to.
All right. Very good. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, Kansas City.
All right, we got the questions already. All right, so we have, again, we are a volunteer organization, so I'm going to pass out the volunteer task cards, and please grab one that you can accomplish today after our meeting concludes. And once you finish the task, return the note card to the done purple box in the lobby near the drink station. All the cleaning supplies you might need are in the white cabinet in the foyer right by the lemonade. We need everyone to help keep this place looking good. Take the basket of cards to the front row. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Pass it around. Being MC is fun because sometimes you read from the left side of the screen, sometimes you read from the right side, and all right. So, while our musician is coming back to the stage, we want to thank all those who are monthly donors that help the KC Oasis keep it running. Kansas City Oasis is a 501c3 nonprofit run solely on donations and volunteers. If you like the topics and music today, please consider donating through kcoasis.org/donate or by Venmo. Our Venmo info can be found at the merch table in the lobby, as well as cash donation jars. Recurring monthly donations through our website are most helpful. And we're going to bring Kadesh back. Kadesh, where could we come see you? Where else are you going to be playing in the near future?
I'm in a band called The Fantastics that's led by Kemet Coleman, who co-founded Vine Street Brewing. And well, JJ's not active in it anymore. That's my guy though. I love JJ. He might be playing guitar on this one. He doesn't always do it, but let's say JJ's gonna be in it too. We're doing Sesh Fest on 420. I think that's the nearest like public thing I've got going on in Kansas City. Brass and Bougie is doing the grand opening or the grand reopening of the Boone Theater, I believe on May 1st. There's a lot of stuff I can't talk about yet in relation to the World Cup, but that should give you an idea of what's going on with that. And yeah, there's stuff and things. I'm doing
And we can
manifest.
We can check you here on these various places to find out.
Yep, it'll be on everything. It'll be on all the things.
Yeah.
It's easy. I'm easy to find. Kadesh Flow and everything. So
Don't forget, we got a tip jar here for all of our musicians.
Oh, there's a tip jar. Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
yeah.
I would have said something maybe.
All right. Take it away.
Thank you. And thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here and hear what's happening. See the community around what Oasis has going on in Kansas City. Johnny, that was great. Thanks for that talk. We appreciate it. Super relevant to a lot of things, obviously. Jill gave me some meds and some cough drops, and they have been extraordinarily helpful. Has anybody seen Project Hail Mary yet? I was just texting my partner. I was like, yeah, this lovely lady gave me some meds and ... amaze. Anyway, this song's called So Far. I do this song a lot because it's appropriate for a lot of different things, but it's honestly inspired by Ichigo from an anime called Bleach. Universal messaging. Yeah. We've come so far. Hold on. My apologies. I'm going to say, we've come so far, and you're going to sing, we've come so far. Can we practice? We've come so far. We've come so far. The next part is, still gotta go hard. And you go, gotta go hard. Cool? Let's practice both. 1, 2, 3. We've come so far. 3. We've come so far. Still gotta go hard. It's good enough. Y'all sound great. I mean, why not? You know? We've come so far. We've come so far. Still gotta go hard. Hold up. Gotta go. There we go, yeah. I still remember the way that they underestimated me. Try to say I should know my place and leave. Swore up and down that I was basically weak. I never listened, they all were dismissive, but I took my shots. Curry with the threes, Ishida with the focused energy. Never worry about how much I would bleed. 10 days with the sensei. I'm coming for soul like Marvin Gaye. If you're standing your ground like it's Benkei, you're sweating, I'm gripping no dende. I'ma get past you, whether you move or I have to slash you. Raw power, that's with or without the mask you. There is zero chance I have to ask you. Might as well blast you. Look, I come way too far, trying to hold the homies down. You might get me for a round, but I'm better pound for pound. One gets to a 10 show, and the chances fly from the window like a mile high from the endo. Don't look surprised, cause I've been dope. I've worked so hard to get to this moment. Blood, sweat, and tears, facing my fears. Both good and bad from me, I own them. Resilience clear, know that I'm here. We've come so far. Yeah, we've come so far. Yeah, still gotta go hard. Yeah. Gotta go hard. Yeah, y'all sound great. Look, might seem tough, it's not over yet. Best believe I won't forget how we've come so far. Yeah, we've come so far. Yeah, so many fakes around me, I feel like I'm dealing with the mind. The way it got wants to uncover the plot. I'll get too comfy, this isn't my job. Look like I'm going to over, but now I'm focused. Cut you off and you think I'ma stop. Anything short of making sure the family's safe. Our result was way over the top. I get it done and it's something they can't say. Look, it's I got force of a grand ray. Every time think they can match me, I keep them guessing like they're playing catchphrase. Say that shit rep from my town, defended like prime standards. Anyone try to come for the bystanders, most get delivered quicker than prime standards. Part of my manners, I've been treated like a stepchild all my life, but it's fine. Overwhelm you, see you begging me to chill. I decline. I am connected like I've been in jinx. It has some detractors. Matter of fact, like I lately haven't really seen them. So they stated to me to redeem them. Worked so hard to get to this moment. Blood, sweat, and tears, facing my fears. Both good and bad from me, I own them. Resilience clear, know that I'm here. We've come so far. Yeah, we've come so far. Still gotta go hard. Look, gotta go hard. Might seem tough, it's not over yet. Best believe I won't forget how we've come so far. We come so far. Thank you.
Thanks again for that. All right, let's continue the conversation and have lunch at the beer hall inside Boulevard Brewing today. You'll find it in the back, past the gift shop on the main floor. Uh-oh, I hit too much. Remember, next Sunday is not a regular Sunday gathering, but a potluck with silent auction and an hour of live party music to celebrate our 12th anniversary. In 2 weeks, our featured speaker will be Rex Buchanan of Terraglyphics of the Kansas Smoky Hills. Our musicians will be multi-award-winning Triplet Brothers, Tequa Bluegrass Band, and Community Moment from Jeff Vincent. And once again, before you head out, take a few minutes to help clean up. We again thank this week's presenters, Johnny, Ethan and David, and musician Kadesh. And thank you for being here or tuning in online. See you next week.